What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today is July 26, 2018. It's just a little after noon, and we are going to go over the crazy moves of AWX. This is what I traded yesterday, and I took, what was it, a $250 loss on it, and look at it now. I got in on this way over here, and this thing ends up way over here. That's gonna happen to you as a trader. You're gonna miss plays. This is such a crazy move here, and this is more of a, I would say, a manipulated stock. It's a beautiful thing, but then it's also just a ugly thing, because this it is just so choppy and everywhere. One moment it's up $1.50, the next moment it's down $1.50. So let's just go over this play right now. This is yesterday, right here. Look at these just crazy moves. This is why it's important to always be in the market and observe these stocks. That way, when this pops up again in the future, you're going to remember how this moved. I made a video on this yesterday as this was spiking right here, and it was starting to drop down, but I deleted the video. I don't know why I deleted it. I really don't, because we were keep watching the level 2 right here, and it from right here I was doing commentary on it right here, and the level 2 we were doing commentary on it, and this kept grinding up and up and up, and it wanted to break out so bad, and every time it looked like it was about to break out, it would fall right back down. So then it slowly sold off. I had a trend line on this. Let's zoom in a little bit. Hold on. I had a trend line on this as we were observing the level 2, and it was slowly grinding up. And I also had another trend line on this at the break right here of $4, a mental resistance. And as you can see, it got really tight right here with the wedge up. This is a pattern where it would break out and continue spiking. So this started to come up, and it broke this resistance here. That's the first touch. Comes down, makes a higher low, and then it comes back up. This is the second touch, and then it comes back down, makes another higher low, and most of the time with these patterns, on the third touch they will break out. But this also just goes to show you that patterns don't always work. I would say 70 to 75% of the time these patterns work, and it's important to cut losses when they don't work. Even if it did this, it's still important to cut losses. You don't want to be a bag holder. And don't feel bad if this didn't break out right here and it came back down and it spiked again. Don't feel bad about yourself that you cut losses and then it comes back and it made more. It happens to me. It happens to even the best traders. But this is just a wacky stock. I was even seeing it in the video that I deleted before this one. It came right up here. Look, it popped out of this pattern right here. This is what we call a fake out breakout. Now, when this came up to it, the level 2 went crazy. The bid was stacking up. The level 2 ask was getting chipped away, and it was moving. And then all of a sudden, when it broke this, the level 2 stopped. And it was like, what's going on? No buying came into this, it felt like. And you can even see it down here on the volume. Look at the volume bar. See, you got a big push up. Zoom in one more. You got a little push right here, but you could see there's clearly no buying going on right here. So then it pops above, and then it just fails, and then it comes right down, and this orange line right here is the VWAP. It seems to, this particular stock seems to like to bounce off this VWAP a lot, and it's making crazy moves off this VWAP. So this is a failed breakout right here. It comes down, makes lower lows, bounces off this VWAP, and then from 362 it runs all the way up to 425, pulls back. It's a big pullback too, from 425 to 382, and then bounces up to 450. Now you see how it also maxed out at mental resistance right here, 425 and 450. This had a big drop again from 450 all the way down to 375. That's a 75-cent drop right here. And once again, it bounced right off this VWAP. And then it just slowly grinded the rest of the day. But you want to look at the big picture and what other traders are looking at too as well. This pattern is looking like it's a head and shoulders. So you got to think a lot of shorts are seeing that this is a head and shoulders, and a lot of buyers are thinking this is a head and shoulders, so they're scared to hold this overnight. So shorts pile in on this. Shorts don't buy and hold it overnight. And I've seen this plenty and plenty and plenty of times. The biggest spiker of the day, a lot of people hold it overnight, and the next day it gaps down huge, and then it just sells off all day. Or it gaps down huge, and then it has a morning panic at the open, and then it spikes up. So let's see what this does the next day, which is today. The next day it gaps up, opens from 430, and it opens at 470. It washes out right here, and right when it looks like it's just gonna keep fading off, out of nowhere it just goes boom from 440s up to 523, and then just drops down, gets a tiny little bounce right here, and then from 485 it just completely tanks all the way down to $4. That's crazy. That's a very scary stock right there when it just dumps like that. I honestly would not trade something like this, because that is just too volatile and risky. And it just goes to show you, this is a great example too, why you do not chase. If you chase something, if you chase a spike like this, and then it pulls back on you, and you get stubborn and you're still holding, and then from 474, right when you think it's starting to move back up to where you bought in, this thing just tanks on you 80 something cents. That's a huge loss, and it can just destroy your confidence. So after it gets a huge pullback like that, it just slowly grinds and grinds and grinds, and it's all the way back up to where its originally high was. This is just a crazy move. This is an ugly thing, but then this is also a beautiful image we have here. This is why they say trading and technical analysis is not a science, it's an art form. Let me clear away all these drawings. But look at this. This stock is everywhere. Everywhere. I'm not complaining about it. This is a lot of, you could say it's a lot of potential, but it's also a lot of risk as well, which is I try to stay away from. I want more reward than risk. Who knows, after it dropped a big move like that, it's gonna drop even more because it's up so much right now. Once again, I'll put up my trade that I did yesterday. Look at it. It's way up here. I traded it way down here, and I haven't traded it since. Just because I don't feel comfortable with it. Let's see, I bought in at 340 up here, and that's when it faked out. It had a good morning spike, or a good gap up. And when it sold off in the morning, I was looking for it to U-shape around and come back up. And I literally bought in right at the top right here, because I let it start to make higher lows here, which is a play I like to look out for, and it just simply failed. And when it failed right here, I got stubborn, and it had a nice little tiny bounce here, and I said, I gotta get out. Just cut it, Dave. Move on. I cut it, and then look what it does. Just goes crazy. But it just goes to show you you're not always going to be right. Live to trade another day. Learn from it and move on. This is the daily over here. So this is the 5 minute, the 15 minute. This is the past 3 months of this, and this is the daily. This is the past 4 years. And the stock is just simply making multi-year highs. The last time it was near these levels was back in 2014. Well, let's look at this day here in 5 minutes. Just crazy, crazy moves. It's up and down, up and down. It's easy to say, yeah, just keep holding on to it. But who in their right mind is going to hold on to something that pulls back $1? Especially when you have a lot of shares. If you have a couple thousand shares on a stock like this and it pulls back $1, you just lost a couple $1,000s. But this is just crazy moves. I had to go over this for you guys. I'm just watching it. It's just really crazy. And that's why, like I said before, it's important to be in the market every day and familiarize yourself with these tickers. That way, when this pops up again in the future, it's going to ring a bell in the back of my mind that, hey, this spiked big last time, but this also had really crazy news too. And what I do is I take pictures of these stocks when they make crazy moves like this, and I save them on my desktop. And then when they do make crazy moves again, I go back to the picture and I look and I see how it moved. And that's another thing. When you're in the market every day, you'll familiarize yourself on how all these tickers move. That way, when they pop up again, like I said, it will ring a bell in the back of your head on how it moved last time and what big moves it did have. Alright, I just wanted to make a quick video here. This is just crazy, crazy right here. This is a beautiful thing and also a crazy thing right here. But alright guys, later.